And I would say to you, how are you tonight? I am once more your spirit medium or your psychic of the day, as I say. And Blue Feather is my guide, and he is the one that gives us all of the information when doing readings. I would say to you also that I am very clairvoyant to where I see symbols. I would also say I'm very clairaudient to where I hear messages, clear sentience to where I feel things, and clear cognizance to where I just know. Okay. On my podcast or my show last week, we talked about all of the five senses. So hopefully one or two of you were able to listen. So for tonight's show, we're going to talk about trance channeling and or what is trance. But what I want you to know is, once more, Blue Feather is my guide. He is the one that gives me all of the information other than what we're talking about tonight, because I honestly have that on paper. And but when I'm doing my readings, he's the one that comes through and gives me the messages. And I also get messages or memories from the other side. So please know that. Could be your mom, could be your dad. And Blue Feather is my gatekeeper, so he's the one that allows them to come in, and we only do the light. So I know there is dark entities, and then I also know there are the phone is ringing, so let's see what this has. Oh, Cece. Yes, ma'am. There you go. Is that better? All right. While I have you, do you want to ask a question? You do. In a sense, you have to be in a trance to connect with the other side. Yes. Okay. When we're doing readings, we automatically go in a trance. But what we have is what we call trance, and then we have what we call trance channeling. So there is a difference. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. If anybody has a question, would you please call 813-814-1601. And just to let you all know ahead of time that my webpage is Blue Feather, or I could say www.bluefeather.net. So how is everybody tonight? I hope everyone is doing well. We have Christmas right around the corner. More than we think. It's right around the corner. But I am almost finished, which is very unusual because sometimes I do everything at the last minute, but that's only where Christmas is concerned. Okay? So I hope there's not too many of y'all out there that do that. All right, now I am going to speak with you tonight about what is trance, okay? Anytime trance or channeling is done, a prayer of protection should be said. A prayer of protection is very, very important. So the one thing that I always say with the prayer of protection is, I am surrounded in white light, love, and protection. I have been saying that for many, many years. So trance mediumship is a very misunderstood, or could be a very misunderstood subject. Many people think that to be in a trance, the medium must be totally oblivious to what is going on all of the time. This is not the case at all. Trance mediumship comes in many, many levels, which is why I prefer to call it mediumship in altered states of consciousness. Okay, so to be altered, there must be an unaltered state, or what we could call a normal state. And I'm sure that could be questioned. What is a normal state? For our purposes as developing mediums, a normal state is when we are going about our normal business and are not aware of the spirit world. Indeed, the second we become aware of spirit, we have entered into an altered state of consciousness. In other words, as soon as we perceive with senses other than our material ones, we are in a trance. Now, if anybody has a question on that one, please call me at 813-814-1601, and I will answer your question, okay? Okay, now, what is channeling, okay? The definition of channeling is a medium through which information is perceived from a source usually believed to be other than the personal conscious self. Throughout the ages, these other source identities have ranged from guardian spirit, guardian angels, extraterrestrial, and a higher self to the divine. There are also incidences when negative entities, sometimes referred to as demons or the devil, come through. Channeling is practiced in a very disassociated or altered state of consciousness. Most, if not all, of the information received through channeling is of a religious nature. This is especially true in the current New Age movement, okay? So, when it says here, sometimes referred to as demons, with the sentences that there are also incidents when negative entities, sometimes referred to as as demons, or the devil, they can come through. What they're trying to say here is, yes, you can bring in bad entities, but if you believe that there are no bad entities in your realm, only in your realm, then your spirit guide will not allow them to come in. I have been working with Blue Feather for a long time, or I should say Blue Feather has been working with me for a long time. He was my father in a past life, and I like to think that he keeps the darkness out of my realm, okay? Out of my realm. I only bring in the light. So when there are spirit guides and or angels and or even family members that do come in, please know that I do everything in my power to allow only the light, not the darkness. Okay? All right. So now we say to you, the desire and the need to communicate with supernatural identities is as old as humanity itself. Okay? Um, Reverend individuals such as priests, wise women, shamans, and others did so in prehistoric and primitive cultures. They sought help from non-worldly beings. Even the power of animal spirits were called in and messages were given to the people. There are various forms to receive information, such as channeling, divination, and healing. And divination can be crystals, tarot cards. Divination has many aspects, okay? And then we say in healing, okay, because we have many healers around us, which were practiced by wizards, wise witches, soothsayers, and the like. Okay? As I mentioned a moment ago, there are times when a negative entity may enter a person's being. This is usually referred to as a demonic or devil possession. Possession suggests that the entity gains control of the individual, and it's out there. But you know, the one thing that I do more than anything is Blue Feather and I have an understanding, and I don't want anything to do with demonic, devil, dark. So I always say I am surrounded in white light, love, and protection. And I also know that Blue Feather, being my gatekeeper, will keep the darkness away from me, okay? Possession suggests that the entity gains control of the individual, and we're not going to have that. I could have Blue Feather gain control of me. I can allow him to come in, but it would only be out of love and to talk to y'all about things that are going on in your lifetime. Yes, he can, and I have allowed him to enter into my body, but it's only out of love. So please know that, okay? Possession suggests that the entity gains control of the individual. I just said that, okay? But such incidences frequently occurred during the Middle Ages. It is argued that possession is not channeling since it is involuntary, okay? There is a difference. That is why any session with spirit contact should always start with a prayer. And once more, I will tell you the prayer that I say. I am surrounded in white light, love, and protection. And I sincerely believe that. I really, really do. But I would say to you, it isn't anything that I would ever abuse, because there was a couple times when I lived in my other home, not the one that I am in now, and I had a two-car garage, and the door from my kitchen led into the garage, or we could say the garage led into the kitchen. But I went to bed a couple nights, once or maybe twice, to where I left my garage door open, and I never locked my kitchen door. I mean, I lock my door now at the front, but I never locked it. And when I went to sleep, I did not realize that my garage door, of course, was open. And then when I got up the next morning and went to go outside and get into my car, my garage door was already open. Well, that really blew my mind. It really did. It really upset me. But the fact is, I am surrounded in white light, love, and protection. And the guys did look out for me. But what is important is you don't abuse it. You do not. You don't go to bed every night and leave the door open and expect nothing to happen, okay? So please know that mistakes are and can be, but we need not to make them that often, okay? There are various methods or forms of channeling. Being in a disassociated or an altered state of consciousness makes it much easier to understand that the phenomena can be both spontaneous and induced. Some channelers suddenly enter a trance state and they begin channeling, while others slowly lose consciousness. Now, if that was me, I would be the one that would be slowly losing consciousness, okay? This is the medium going into a trance, which that's what it takes. It takes me to go into a trance or leaving my body. I can do that also, while spirit person borrow their body and talks through them. Blue Feather can definitely do that. I can allow him to come in. I can feel when he does come in. And this is something that I learned in the Arthur Findlay College in England, and I'll talk to you about that in 1 minute. And in the trance, the medium enters a cataleptic state marked by extreme rigidity. I don't get that rigid, but I get pretty stiff. As the control spirit takes over, the medium's voice may change completely, and the spirit will answer questions of those present or will give spiritual knowledge. I have done that many, many times. We used to have meetups to where people would come to my other home, and what we would do is we would get in a circle, all of us. And what we would do is I would go into a very, very deep trance, okay? And I would allow Blue Feather to come in. And then everybody that were in the circle, everybody that was in the circle would ask a question, and Blue Feather would answer their question. So please know that I have not done that in a while. I would like to do that again because I really love it when he comes through, but I can sincerely feel him. And not only that, my voice will change. He is a very strong, I'm going to say Cherokee entity, and I love him very much. So now, before I keep going, are there any questions? Who would like to call me and ask a question? Call 813-814-1601. Does anybody have a question? Cece, do you have a question? I know you're there. If you would like to ask me something, please do that, okay? Okay. I will go on to the next statement to let you know that I hope everybody's ready for Christmas. I'm almost ready, not quite, but I hope everybody's ready. You know, it's not that far off. It's next week. You know, our days just go by so fast. They really do. Okay, once more, if you have a question, please call me at 813-814-1601. Okay. To continue with our channeling and trance information, channeling is said to be induced by many methods, including meditation. Meditation is so very, very important. Prayer, self-hypnosis, fasting, dancing, chanting, and breathing techniques. There's many ways of going into a trance, okay? Some of your great channelers were Joan of Arc, who was a spontaneous channeler. She received visions of the Archangel Michael, Saint Margaret, and Saint Catherine, instructing her to support Charles VII and recover France from English domination late in the 100 Years' War, okay? And then they burned her to the stake, okay? But here we go. Jane Roberts of Seth and Jack Purcell, who channels Lazarus. Jack Purcell channeled with the help of his wife. He would fall asleep doing trance, and she would write all he had to say. Isn't that just like a man? He fell asleep, and his wife took over and did all the work. I think that is just so special. But with Joan of Arc, I really believe it was sad because she did get burned to the stake, and she really did hear Spirit speaking with her, and she really did. She put her heart into her work, and she really listened to what Spirit had to say to her. Okay, so then I would say to you also, mental channeling is meditation of thoughts, words, images, and emotions, and is accomplished through various ways. When in a complete trance, please listen to this, the channeler's personality is displaced, and another entity or personality takes temporary possession. And that's what Blue Feather does with me. But what is important to know is I allow him to take possession of me. And then sometimes his voice will come through, and gestures from his form of gestures different from those of the channeler. Okay, so I do make moves that are totally different from my own. They're moves of his, okay? Only because he is right there with me. Sometimes this is called direct voice meditation. Okay, the channeler, which is myself, is completely unaware of what is said and done during the session, and has no awareness of it when regaining consciousness from the trance. And that's the truth. There's a lot of times that I've gone in a trance when we've done a circle, and when I've allowed Blue Feather to come through, and everybody has asked questions and he answered them for them. I do not know what he has said. I don't. Okay. I just allow him to speak and say what he needs to, and then I just let go. Okay. Now, so far, does anybody have a question? If you have a question, would you call, please, 813-814-1601. Okay. If you don't have a question now and you have a question later, you can please go to www.bluefeather.net and I will sincerely answer your question. Okay. So then, to continue, let me say this. Things you need to know when a medium is doing trance channeling. And this is so very, very important. If you were to go to a group gathering to which you have a medium there, and she is going to do a trance channeling of her spirit guide, you need to keep very, very quiet, and you need to keep quite still, okay? Never touch a medium when she is in trance, okay? This is quite detrimental, and you need to know that, okay? She should always have a gatekeeper to protect her from harm. And sometimes, in all the years that I have learned this, sometimes they sit in a cabinet, a wooden cabinet, to do this, okay? And to protect themselves. But to touch a medium when she is in deep trance is not a good idea. One reason being ectoplasm, okay? And then ectoplasm is seemingly a life-like substance, solid or vaporous in nature. It is also stated that that it exudes from the various allegedly, I can't even say that word for God's sake, exudes from the various body parts of the medium and can be transformed into materialized limbs, face, and even the entire body of spirit. In other words, what they are saying here is when we are in trance, ectoplasm is surrounded around our body and can be, okay? Just like your aura. The other night, I am doing some what we call trumpet meditation, to where three of my friends, we have a trumpet sitting on a table, which is a horn that Camp Chesterfield has them. You can buy them. But it is a horn and or a trumpet that spirit will allow to go through the air, okay? And the last Friday when we were in meditation and I looked up at the trumpet and or the horn, I could see the ectoplasm. That is the energy around that trump. What we are trying to do is to get that trump up into the air. Spirit will do that. I have seen it many, many times. Spirit will also talk through that trumpet. I have experienced that many years back. I have been doing this work for a good 25 years, 30 years. I've been studying. I've been in Florida for 40 years and I've been studying for over 30. I have seen quite a bit. I have seen tables move with the help of spirit. I have seen trumpets and or horns fly through the air with the help of spirit because of our energy. And I have also seen or heard voice. The voice that we had come through was Jonathan. And that spirit used to talk to us when we were in a seance circle. So the circles are very important. And when psychics or mediums are doing this, it's more so mediums. then we need to respect the quiet and not touch them and to allow that ectoplasm to come through. Okay? One reason or one thing about ectoplasm is it is seemingly a life-like substance, solid or vaporous in nature. It is also stated that it exhumes from the various body parts of the medium and can be transformed into materialized limbs, face, and even the entire body of spirit. I just told you that. I am telling you that again. Okay? If anybody has any questions, please feel free to call 813-814-1601. Okay? And if you don't want to call tonight, you can also get me with www.bluefeather.net. You must have a question. Cece.
Yes, I need to turn my mic on. Yes, I just wanted to let you know you had someone in the studio named Tim, but his video and his camera and his mic wasn't connected. So, Tim, if you're listening, if you want to give Janet a call, again, her number is 813-814-1601, or you can join us on the comments and chat that way. So if anyone also, they just want to do a little chat on the comments, we can see those. So if you have a question for Janet, that would be great. So
one of my good friends.
Yeah.
That's Tim. Tim, yeah.
Tim,
I told him I was doing the podcast tonight, so I told him to check in.
Okay, well they did, and so I didn't catch it, and I don't think their equipment was connected, but yeah. So you do have people listening, so that's awesome.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So then once more, we'll say, if anybody has a question, please call me at 813-814-1601. And if you don't want to ask the question tonight, then please go to www.bluefeather.net and I can answer a question there. Okay. So I just want to say one other thing about ectoplasm, because it's very, very important. It varies in intensity from a fine mist to a solidity that can be felt and that can move objects. That's what I'm talking about the trumpet, the horn, okay? The reason that my friends and I are sitting there in meditation on Friday nights every other week is to get this horn and or trumpet up in the air, okay? And the fact that I was able to see ectoplasm around the tip of the horn tells me that once more we're getting very close to perhaps it floating through the air. You would be amazed at what we could do if you just believed, okay? So the ectoplasm often appears in a milky white in color, and it has an odor. Now, when I saw it the other night, I did not smell an odor, but I did see the white. I did see the milky white. While skeptics refute it exists at all, is reported to be repulsive. It's not repulsive. It is sensitive to light, and that is why seances and direct voice is done in the dark. And I will tell you this right now, when I was doing the seance the other night, we call it a seance, or the gathering that my friends and I had the other night to get the horns up or the trumpets up, we did have a red light, and yes, the room was dark. Okay, all you could see was the red light. So So I'm going to say once more, if you have a question, please give me a call at 813-814-1601. Okay? We have a few minutes left, and I'm going to give you a little bit more information. Sometimes, a lot of this information can be very intense, and you really have to listen. I've been studying for a long time, and when I do trance, or as we call it, trance channeling, to where Blue Feather comes in, I really appreciate it. I do. I can sincerely feel him. There's no doubt. He comes right into my body, and my voice does change. He's a very, very strong entity, and I allow him. When he first started coming into my body, and that was where I learned it was in England, and at the College of at the college, Arthur Finley. I was afraid in the very beginning. My heart beat. It really did. It beat out of my body. And he felt so heavy. He did. The whole left side of me, I could feel him. And not my whole body, just my left side. So that does not bother me anymore. He's more than, I allow him more than ever to come through when he feels that it is a necessity. I really do. So then let me just give this information to you so that you know. Here are some examples you can experience when spirit draws closer to you. Okay, this can be at many different levels, so please know that. Those who are going into deeper states to deliver philosophy, and who are obviously under deep control from their guides, which would be my Blue Feather, should have the same sensations and feelings as spirit approaches those who were given clairvoyance. Once more, there's a difference between clairvoyance and channeling. Some of the sensations I am sure you will hopefully recognize: a change of body temperature, hot or cold, okay? A change in a breathing pattern, which I did in the very beginning when he used to come in. I did breathe heavy, okay? Faster, deeper, slower. A change in the heart rate. Oh my God, my heart used to beat out of my body. Quicker, slower, possible chance of palpitations. All right, cobwebby sensations on the face, the hair, the arms. I did not get that. Sensations of pressure, touch, your chakras. Okay, all of us have chakras, and that's another story. You could feel them with the energy going through the chakra center. So that's another way of being able to feel spirit. Okay, so this knowledge should help you to recognize the following. You are not alone in having funny feelings when you work with spirit. Okay. Trance is not some weird and scary thing when a spirit takes over your body. The kinds of things you experience in mediumship go across the board. Trance is just a bit deeper, that's all. Have any of you felt these symptoms of spirit drawing near? When do you feel them? Okay, do you have names for your spirit guides or your teachers? You need to ask. In meditation, you definitely need to ask what your guide's name is. They will hopefully, and then I shouldn't say hopefully, they will definitely tell you their names if you're in deep enough of a trance in meditation. And and if you ask them, okay? So let me just say this. When you have time, take the time to go into meditation, okay? Because it will really help you to feel the presence of your spirit teachers around you. You don't want to dwell on it when you're in the process, or you'll miss the essence of the meditation, okay? But you might silently greet them and say welcome. You might even receive a message for yourself, especially if you ask them once more what their name is, while you're in this relaxed and therefore receiving state, okay? Guided meditation is the science which allows us to directly experience the God force within our lives, okay? It begins with alignment of the soul. It will lead to identification with the whole. I sincerely hope that I have helped everybody tonight with some of the information to do with trance and trance channeling. Is there anyone who has a question? If you do, please call 813-814-1601. And if you don't have a question tonight, you can go out to my webpage, which is www.bluefeather.net, and you can ask me a question out there. I will tell y'all, I have really, really learned a lot between Camp Chesterfield, between Lilydale. These are the biggest spiritual campgrounds to learn about mediumship, your spirit guide, even Arthur Finley, the college, where I learned how to channel Blue Feather. I am very grateful for everything that I have learned in my lifetime. And when I say lifetime, I have been studying half my life. And I just, and I love to do readings, and I love to do seances and give messages and help people, because I know that whatever comes out of my mouth is helping someone. Okay. So once more, does anybody have a question? If you do, call 813-814-1601. And then please go to my website. You can go to my website because I have an extreme amount of information out there about myself. I have a lot of videos out there. I have written a story that's in a book called Transform Your Life. And it was 60 of us authors that got together, and we wrote a story. And Transformation at the time, which has been about 8 years, created a book, and we each put our story in it. And mine is in the blink of an eye. I really, I've had some beautiful incidences in my life, maybe not always the best, but they have helped me to become the person that I am. And I'm very happy within myself in my own little way. So once more, please call 813-814-1601. And or if not, please go to www.bluefeather.net, and you can ask me the question there. And stay tuned in for my next one. I am starting to invite guests, and I will have Carla Beta, and I will have one of my teachers, Kay Robinson, on in January, and we can really talk some good topics, okay? So please stay tuned in. All right. Thank you.